Hey, 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 it's Tia, baby. And I am back with another video. So I'm going to read chapter 13, part 2 of Selena with Love. The morning after that meeting with Oompa, Dictator's brother Eddie called to let Dictator know that Oompa was at Q Productions with another employee from the Corpus Christi boutique. Dictator drove straight to the office in order to inform Oompa again that she was no longer welcome anywhere on his property. That same day, I heard Selena arguing with Oompa on the phone. After Selena hung up, she said, "I can't trust her anymore." She was right. The day after Dictator banned Oompa from Q Productions, she went out and bought a pistol. Selena finally started quizzing various workers at the boutique about Oompa's behavior. They all told her that they had been having problems with Oompa. What's more, several employees at the San Antonio salon came forward and told her that Oompa appeared to be stealing money. Oompa had even gotten involved in Selena's perfume line, picking up samples from Leonard Wong, the man who was working with on creating the perfume, but never giving them to Selena. "I can't believe this is happening," Selena said to me, distressed because this had all been going on unnoticed while we were busy on the road. "I should fire Oompa, but she's still holding on to some papers we really need for our taxes. I don't want to alienate her completely and risk losing those records." "What do you want to do?" I asked. I knew that Selena didn't want to involve Dictator. This was her business and she wanted to resolve the problems independently from her family. And I get that she didn't want to involve Dictator, but this is a woman who was told to her that she had murals, allegedly had murals of her all over her walls, that she was proof that she was stealing money, proof that she was stealing things from her other like businesses and projects. I think that it was best. It would have been best for her to, like I said, retrieve those documents by the police, and also let her father know that she needed those documents, and he could have, took the initiative to call the police, and he and the police could have went to Yolanda's apartment or wherever to retrieve those documents instead of her doing it. But I get she wanted to be independent, but sometimes you have to lean on someone because you never know what the person's mental state is, as this is a prime example. But, let's read on. What else? I forgot where I was at. Okay. Selena and I went back and forth about possible solutions that range from firing Oompa on the spot to calling in a private investigator. Okay. So they did talk about calling, a private. Okay. Finally, Selena said, "I can't let Oompa know that we suspect her of misusing our credit cards or stealing money." But that's what I don't understand. She already knows because they all had a meeting with her in Dictator's office about her stealing money. So how is it that she didn't want Oompa to know that they know about her embezzlement? They know because they all was in the same room. Like, I don't get that. I don't get that. Okay. I doubt that she really has any proof that she's not stealing money, like she says. But we need to get our business papers back from her for the taxes. We can't let her know that we're thinking about firing her. Not yet. I agree, and that's when the real game of cat and mouse began. Over the next 2 weeks, Oompa kept claiming that she had proof that she wasn't stealing from the boutiques or embezzling money from the fan club. But every time Selena met her to see the receipts and other papers that would be evidence of Oompa's innocence, she somehow didn't bring the right documents. Sometime around March 15th, Selena told me that she was going to meet Oompa in a restaurant on the outskirts of Corpus to collect the necessary paperwork. Why can't she just bring the papers to the boutiques? I asked. She's afraid, Selena said. Oompa won't drive into Corpus because she says she's been getting threatening phone calls. At the restaurant, they sat in Selena's car because Oompa was too nervous to go inside. Oompa gave Selena almost all the paperwork that we needed for our business, but not quite. Maybe I should work someplace else, Oompa said. This is too much for me. I doubt very much that Oompa really intended to resign. She was just trying to manipulate Selena. And Selena did feel sorry for Oompa, because her former friend looked so despondent. At the same time, Selena had her own reasons for pretending to believe in Oompa's friendship. She was still very intent on recovering our paperwork. Thinking fast, Selena decided that the best stance to take would be consolatory, a consolatory one, at least for the time being. No, 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 Selena told Oompa. Please don't quit. I need you for the Mexico deal. I really need your help. You can't quit. Not when we're so close. When Selena said this, Oprah's demeanor changed completely. She was suddenly in a good mood again, all buddy-buddy with me and laughing like we were friends. Selena told me afterwards, then Oprah said, "You want to see something?" "Sure," Selena said. "What is it?" Oprah reached into her purse and pulled out a gum. As Selena told me this later, I had a sinking feeling. I knew now that Oprah was even crazier than I thought. What the hell? I said. She had a gum in the car? Uh-huh, Selena said, but she didn't seem at all unnerved by this. Oprah pulled the gum out and said she bought it for protection. And it's so eerie that she came close proximity of the weapon that was going to be used to in her life. It's just eerie. What did you do? I asked. I went off on her and said that she needed to take that gum back to the store right now. Of course, Selena said. Later, investigators discovered that Oompa had gone on March 11th to a gum range and store called A Place to Shoot in San Antonio. Oompa had told one of the employees there that she was a private home nurse and that some family members of a patient had threatened her. She wanted the gum for protection. Oompa had to wait for 3 days for a background check, then picked up the weapon and bought 20 hollow point bullets, the kind that's designed to open up fast on impact, causing maximal damage. The next day, she bought the gum when she met Selena at the restaurant. After her meeting with Selena, Oprah thought that they were still friends. She returned the gun to the store and told the clerk that she changed her mind and didn't need the weapon at all. So she was attempting to do something to her. So when she thought that Selena was going to let her go and that be done with her completely, she was going to she bought the weapon to end her, because she had that mentality that if I can't have you, nobody else can. But then when Selena, tricked her into thinking that she was not done with her, she returned the weapon and said, "Oh, I guess we good, so I ain't got to do nothing." I still wonder sometimes if Oprah might have shot Selena on the day she first showed her the weapon, if Selena had gone ahead and dismissed her. Maybe. I carry a certain sense of guilt that I never said anything about Oompa having shown Selena the gum in her purse. Yes, you should have showed. You should have told them. What if I had told the police or Dictator? Who knows how Dictator would have reacted? Maybe he would have called in a favor with the police and had them scare Oompa, and it would have been over. I still live with those questions. A few weeks earlier, Selena had gone into Q Productions to work on Dream of You, the song that would become the biggest hit on the mainstream English language album we were scheduled to release later that year. I was going to go with her, but on the same day, Dictator asked me to work with the lead singer in that rock band that he was trying to promote, the one that I've been working with at our house when Selena showed me how one of those songs I've written for them should sound. Do you mind if I help out with your dad instead of going to the studio with you? I asked Selena. No, that's fine, Selena said. You do the best you can with those guys, and I'll be right back. She gave me a hug and a kiss. I love you, she said. I love you too. I said, I wish that I could say that I had some kind of premonition that the end of my time with Selena was rapidly drawing near, but I did not. I just went to work, but I'll always have regrets about what happened later that day. I worked with the singer from Dictator's rock group, in our home studio right through the afternoon into the night. I had my cell phone set to vibrate on the mixing board. I was trying to mold this singer's vocals when the cell phone went off. It was Selena. Hey, what are you doing? She asked. Still working, I said. Can you get away? No, I don't think so, I said. Please? Can't you just say that you've got to go somewhere? Selena asked. I'd really like if you came over to the studio. I could say that, but we're finally making a little progress, I hinged. I need to see this thing through for a little bit longer. Then maybe I can come by. Why? What's so important? I really want you to come hear something, Selena said. It's that song, Dreaming of You. I knew which song she was talking about, of course, but I hadn't yet paid much attention to the demo with the lyrics on it. I had no idea what the song was about. I'll try, I said. Okay, she said. I really want you to come over here and listen to what I did on that song. When we hung up later, much later, after it's after it seemed like the world had ended and my heart was torn in two, I thought about that phone call. I, I, I like to imagine that Selena was thinking of me when she recorded that vocal track. I think that's the truth, too, because Selena had never before asked me to drop whatever I was doing to come hear something she was singing. That's what I should have done, dropped everything to spend a few more precious minutes with my wife. If I had done that, my last moments with Selena might have included standing right next to her in the studio and hearing that song of hers, which carries all of the feelings she had for me. I still feel happy when I think about how Selena was thinking of me when she sang that song. But I'm also torn about the fact that I didn't go to her then. Why didn't I just leave work so that I could listen to what my wife wanted me to hear? The answer is simple. I didn't realize that my chances to hear Selena sing were nearly over. On March 30th, Selena and I were at home waiting for my father to come in from out of town. He was going to spend some time with us and stay in our guest bedroom. Before my dad arrived, though, Yolanda called to say, Oompa called to say that she was at the Days Inn Corpus and had finally bought the missing paper that Selena needed for her business. Just come over here and get the papers, told Selena. I don't want to have to deal with anyone. She sounds kind of shaky, Selena said to me after they hung up. She's always telling stories, I reminded her. What makes you think that Oompa has the papers this time when she never has before? I don't know, but I'm going over there, Selena said. It's worth a shot. That didn't sound right. Let me drive you to the motel, I said. I don't want you going over there at night by yourself. I drove Selena over to the hotel in my truck and parked. Selena got out of the truck and told me that Oprah was in room 158. She wants to see me alone. Selena said, why don't I do that and you stay here? She might be more likely to tell me the truth if I'm alone. You sure? Yeah, she said. Besides, if you're out here in the truck, I have a good excuse to leave. Okay. It was a nice night. I turned the ignition off and rolled down the windows. I listened to the radio, but when Selena didn't come back after a while, I decided I better go see what was going on. I locked the truck and followed the path that Selena had taken. The door to Uber's room was open and light was spilling out of the doorway. I looked inside and saw that Uber was sitting on the bed. She looked like she had been crying. Selena was standing in front of her, looking upset as well. Hey, I said, everything is okay in here? Yeah, everything is cool, Selena said. Neither of us knew that Uber had returned to the same gum shop in San Antonio a few days before this. She repurchased the exact snub-nosed Taurus 45 revolver that she had bought before. I didn't see the gum. All I saw was a small, sad, ugly little woman sitting on a bed, not a murderer. Who knows? Maybe Oompa would have killed Selena that night if I hadn't came along. In any case, Selena followed me back to the truck and told me that Oompa had been telling her about being raped in Monterey earlier that day. What? I turned around in shock. Yeah, she was trying to show me her torn clothes, Selena said. I offered to take her to the hospital, but she wouldn't go. Probably because it's another one of her stories. It looks like to me like Oompa did that herself. We got into the truck and I started the engine. Selena turned on the overhead light and started flipping through the papers. It's not all here, she said in frustration. There are more papers missing. Chris, let me go in and see Oompa again. I think she probably was listening into their conversation. I don't know if they was whispering to each other when she told him about what they were talking about and that she thinks that she made it up. But I have a strange feeling that she probably was listening to like follow them, but try not to follow them as much, and probably was listening to their conversation, which caused her to probably be irate and cause her to come back the next day. I don't know. I don't know. I was already pulling the truck out of the motel parking lot. No, let's just go, I said. You know what's going to happen. If you go back in there, Uber's just going to make some excuse about why she can't give you anything else. Selena sighed and leaned her head back. Yeah, you're right. By the time we got back to our house, my dad had already arrived from San Antonio. We hung out for a while and made plans for the next day. Selena made a list of things for me to buy at the grocery store. She was planning to make my favorite meal a black tip shark. Eventually, my dad went to the guest room to unpack. When he came out to the kitchen, Selena and I were paying bills. We both had our checkbooks out on the kitchen table, seeing that made my dad laugh and get his camera. Here, he said, aiming the camera in our direction. I want to get pictures of you two paying bills like grown-ups and being so responsible. That was the very last picture ever taken of Selena alive. If I had to pick my happiest memory with Selena, I'd probably pick the night before she was killed. Things were so good with us at that moment, as we always did. When Selena and I went to bed together, we hugged and said how much we loved each other. That night, she lay with her head on that sweet spot on my shoulder, and we talked about the future. It was one of those moments when you're so in love with somebody and you feel that love coming back to you. I'm happy to have that memory of our last nights together as a reminder of how rich and full of love our lives were, despite everything. The phone rang as we were lying there, and Selena looked at me. What? I said. It's Oompa. How do you know? I asked. Selena rolled over and picked up the phone. After she said hello, Selena listened for a minute, then said to me, guess what? Oompa found those missing papers. She wants me to come back to the motel and get them. She wants me to go alone. No, I said. Tell her that you're not going back. It's too late. No way. Plus, I don't want you going over there alone. No, Selena repeated into the phone. Chris says it's too late and we'll come back tomorrow. Oompa then started talking about the rape. Selena stopped her and said, if you want to go to the hospital, I'll take you. I already told you that. When Oompa said no, that she didn't want to go to the hospital, Selena said, you know what? It's late and this conversation is over. Then she hung up the phone. So, I'm going to finish the last 13 pages of Selena with Love tomorrow because it is very late and I have to get to sleep. But I will see you guys tomorrow for part 3 of chapter 13. Peace.